Okay, it's 6:25 on Thursday evening. Let's call this meeting to order. And we have some attendees tonight. And our first one is John. John, how do you pronounce your last name again, sir?
Helmstead.
Helmsworth. Okay, we're going to start the meeting tonight with item number 5. Well, first, let's approve the agenda. Let's make sure let's get the agenda approved. Get that.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second that motion. All in favor with the agenda?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. So now we got our agenda approved. Let's move to item number 6 on our agenda. And that is 7 Stable Lane. It's a variance request to move the house over a couple feet to the property line and then overhang the property line with most of the eaves, and then the master bedroom pop out of 2 feet would also overhang that property line along with the eaves. So we've discussed this prior to the recording. We had some time. We were waiting to get our quorum together. So we've had some time to talk about this meeting or this issue. And I think we're all in agreement on making the motion.
I'll move to approve, Keith.
Okay, we got Rich with a move to approve. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and Joe Jean with the second. And that'll put us unanimous. There's only 3 of us tonight for the quorum. It does meet the quorum.
I have a question.
Okay,
Is the house going to be built on the property line and then they want a variance for the eaves to go over the property line?
No, this is actually meant to be within the setbacks. And because it is on a corner, we have 2 20-foot setbacks, where ordinarily a lot would have a 20-foot front setback and then 2 5-foot setbacks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're within the footprint of the lot by, we're very well within our footprint of the lot. We're just coming over to the left where that 20-foot would ordinarily be a 5-foot setback. So we're turning it into a 17 or 16-foot setback instead of a 20.
Okay, and that's on what's the name of that street?
You have High Cliff and you have Stable Lane.
Okay, it's not the Stable Lane side.
no, it's High Cliff. Is that High Cliff for sure? I did not check the name of that street when I was there.
It could be. I've been out here long enough to see all the street names change, and
Right, me too. It rings a bell, High Cliff does, so, but it's not stable.
Okay, yeah, it's not, I know it's not stable. Yeah, and I got out and parked right there. I know it's a one-way street and it was very steep, and I parked right there and got out and walked around. So yeah, I'm not opposed to it just because of that reason, the street it's on. Otherwise, I might have some issue with it.
Okay.
But other than that, so I wanted to make sure there was no covered decks. The overhangs are just 18 inches, and why the extra inches, and you clarified that with me, that the pop out, the whole thing is actually moving over to the property line. So the pop out will actually extend 2 feet into the property line along with an 18-inch eave overhang over that. So, okay, so it looks like it's been approved unanimously. Is that correct? Anyone else had any other questions?
I don't think we voted on it. We voted to approve or motion to approve. So you need to ask if we want to vote on it.
Yeah, I thought Joe Jean, I thought you seconded, and
Yeah, but then,
Yeah, then we vote.
yeah,
Aye.
I'll vote to approve, but you need.
okay, yeah, it's unanimous. We're all in favor.
thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. I
Appreciate you guys doing this.
appreciate your time. Thank you, man.
Okay.
Hey, John, who else did we have in attendance tonight?
Actually, I believe that's everybody.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned a couple, so I just wanted to make sure. So, okay, then we'll go back up to item number 2, if that's all right with everyone.
Well, we do have one more variance.
Oops, hang on, I'll bring you right back here. Sorry about that. So terribly sorry. Go ahead and unmute again and get a second variance request, it sounded like.
Yeah, second variance request, same property. This one's for lot coverage. Do you guys have that in front of you?
Do not.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Uh-oh. I wonder if they look exactly the same.
Oh yeah, they look exactly the same. They're both on variance request paperwork.
But then one is about lot coverage.
One's about lot coverage, and then the other one was the variance request for the foundation or the footprint.
I've got the variance.
Yeah, I only got the one.
Okay, we can resubmit for the lot coverage request. Basically, also, so a quick question, is lot coverage 25% of the lot's total square footage?
No, it's 35%.
30. Yeah,
35?
yeah, you're right.
Okay. If it's 35%, I might not even need to submit the request. I was at 25% when I was doing my calculations. So I'll go back to the drawing board and come back to you if I need to.
Yeah, and it's 50% total with decks, overhangs, driveways, any hardscapes, things like that.
Okay, Dex. Is there any place where I could find that information quickly?
Yeah.
Actually, I could chime in here. That's the open space policy, and that's of the ACC policies. That's section 14.5.1B.
Perfect, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, thanks, George.
I'm ready.
Okay, so
It's a very common one, yes. And as Steve explained, yeah, the decks, walkways, full eaves, roof, footprint, driveway,
Yeah, good.
compared against your full lot square footage.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you too, guys.
All right, bye.
Okay, anybody else? Can we move along? We good? Okay, we're good to go. Okay, item number 2 was approval of December 9th, 2021 meeting minutes. Did anybody see those? I have not.
I thought they were in the email, weren't they?
Ah, I did
There's a
not
whole
see
bunch
an
of
email.
attachments.
I didn't
Yeah,
see it. So,
They were in
12/9.
there.
Yeah, 12/9 meeting minutes. Yeah. It was the third attachment.
did you guys get a chance to review them? If you're good with them, I'll be fine.
I glanced at it. It looked good to me.
Joe Jean?
Yeah, I didn't really look at them.
Speed reading time.
Actually, I did check over some of the meetings or the minutes that came for other meetings, and they all looked fine to me. So, and I'll move to approve.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll second.
okay, passes by majority. Okay. On to item number 3. It's 120 Harbor View. It's a tree removal.
Move to approve.
Yeah, this has got an arborist report, and Joe Jean, you seconded that?
Yes.
Okay, that's approved unanimously.
The only thing I would say, I didn't see his county permit, so I would just say, was the county yeah, I think he still needs a county permit for 1 or 2 of those.
Yes, he does actually, and I made some comments here. Also too, I want to verify those trees are on his property. I just made notes, so obviously I didn't verify for some reason. I was unable to. But I just put, verify that the trees are on his property and county permits required is the only two notes I had.
Yeah.
See, comment.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
Okay, so that one was approved unanimously then with comments, George. Okay, item number 4, 2 Plum Lane. A gate and a fence. This is for her dog, I'm pretty sure. That's the one I'm
The
thinking of.
picture's kind of strange. Is the
Yeah.
fence they're building the red line?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's just the red one.
I hate fences.
Well, I like that it was a small area, so they're just, you know, they could have done a lot bigger, so I like they just did a small area and it's well maintained, the whole area. But,
I'll move to approve.
let's see. So I had a couple questions on here, or a couple comments, and I had approval with comments was one of my notes, but there was no dimensions given on here. Although they did have it flagged out, so you were able to walk it and see it. So that was not a problem. And they didn't have a height. And it was checked wooden wire. So I want to just make sure the height is correct, or they refer them to the appendix for the wooden wire fence so they can get the correct height and the gate to match. You know, we want the gates to match. And that was all I had on there. Oh, wait, I put on here will require a 10-foot variance.
For the,
Because Harborview Drive, Harborview has a 20-foot setback. And from her corner property marker, it was only 10 foot. The fence would exceed 10 foot into that 20-foot setback from the street. Not that I saw it was a problem.
I thought the setback was for permanent structures. I didn't think a fence was considered a permanent structure.
Say that again?
I thought the 20-foot setback applied to permanent structures. I didn't think a fence qualified as a permanent structure because it could be removed really quickly.
Well, that's a good, I'm not opposed to the fence going there, just so you know, and it's small. But we've had this conversation before. Remember, Bruce in particular was not in agreement with that argument. The fences were considered permanent. I do agree with you that they could be moved fairly quickly. It's really just the post, right? So
Yeah.
the post can be moved. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I just want them
Yeah.
to be aware that they are in that setback area. So they will be in
Okay.
that. So even if they just be aware of that, I'm fine. And that way they're kind of proceeding on their own thing. And I don't know if Sudden Valley would need to, George, if you guys would need to sign off on that because it's in the setback.
How close to the property line is it?
It's 10 foot off the property line.
Yeah. See, that's why I thought it was okay when I saw the stakes. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not, I just know we haven't allowed fences before that are in that setback area, but in particular, they're usually in the front of the house, not on the side of the house. This is on the side, so.
I always remember fences, and I know houses too. We usually wanted to see a 5-foot setback from the property line, and I guess this is unique with the 20-foot setback because it's a corner lot. Yeah, that's.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is how I see it. So it's 20 foot, their house right now is roughly 20 foot off their corner property marker, right? So their house is where it should be. It's 20 foot off the setback, which it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And then this fence will protrude 10 feet into that setback area. So
Yeah.
it'll be in the setback area, but I can go along with the argument that it's not a permanent structure. I don't have a problem with that. But
And it's still more than 5 feet inside their property line as well. So it's
that
like,
is correct.
Oh, okay.
That is correct.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with it. I
Yeah.
don't have any problems with it, so.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. As long as they don't exceed, they didn't have a fence height on here too, so that's why I'd like to refer them to the appendix, so they don't, they no higher than 60 inches. I mean, you can state it if you want, but, or they can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. And then that's all I had on it. Oh, and the only other thing I wanted to make sure too, that we put out, because this is in particular for dogs, that we put some kind of literature in there that people just can't put like their dog out in the yard and take off for 4 or 5 hours while their dog's barking at every deer and critter and person that walks by. Because then it becomes a nuisance animal. And so that's been one of the biggest things I hear when I'm out, is that's a big concern, is people have issues. Hey, they just put their dogs out and then they take off all day and they leave their dogs out in the backyard barking all day long.
I would agree with you, but I think that's overreach for the ACC. I think that's more of an admin.
Yeah, that's where I'm suggesting maybe some literature or something they have on nuisance, I don't know if you can grab something like that, put it in that letter that goes out to them, and something about nuisance animals, and just to make sure, something nice. It's nice. We just want to let them know. Be informed.
Just a nice pamphlet. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the county must have something on that, you would think. But anyways, all right, so that one gets approved unanimously with comments.
Yeah. I vote to approve.
Fine.
Okay. Okay, that was 2 Plum. Okay, next one is the one we can't read. Item number 5, new business.
Yeah, I can't read this one. I tried.
Yeah, we can't make it out. So that one's gonna get deferred. And we may have to send them a 30-day extension notice or whatever, George. I'm not sure you'll have to take care of that, but
Ask them
Yeah.
to use a black pen.
yeah, and someone should have saw that you can't read it. And there's no stamp to let it know when it came in or anything. So, but that's all right. We'll get it all wired out now.
We'll get it there. Yeah, I'd advocate you defer until the next meeting, and I should be able to get this back on the agenda and get it heard within the 2 weeks.
All right, so I'll move to defer. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Joe Jean, second. It's unanimous. We'll defer till next meeting or when they can get it back to us for resubmittal. Okay, item number 6, we've already discussed. Item number 7 is a tree removal. And actually, this is a post-tree request. It's already been removed. So their request, they said the admin gave them approval to remove the tree. I went out and looked and the tree is gone. And
Actually, it landed on my friend's house, so I would have voted to approve anyway.
so we have documented proof that the tree needed to come down. All right, well.
Is he gonna replant?
What's that?
Is he gonna replant?
I do not know.
It was a pretty big tree.
Yeah, it was
usually,
huge.
usually when we do a tree removal, we want to see something go back in to make sure the ground's stabilized and that it's not just going to become an erosion issue
I don't think it would be where that.
where he's at.
pretty-
Yeah, it's pretty flat,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, my neighbors had 3 or 4 trees fall in their house, so
Horrible.
luckily they were all pretty small, so not much damage, but no, well, I move to approve.
All right,
I'll second.
all right, that's unanimous. Okay, item number 8. What did I write? What changed? 18 Spinnaker Lane. Oh, this is that generator under the house. Didn't we not just see this one?
No, they asked for a heat pump or something last time.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, because I was
Yeah.
like, I just went to this house. I don't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
it going underneath.
Yes, Joe Jean is correct. The previous was the heat pump request. This is an additional generator request.
Ah, very nice. Yeah, I actually like the location.
Yep, and I did speak with the owners, and they assured me that there'd be no trenching needs or anything additional soil disturbances for its location. It was very close to their meter.
Yeah,
getting it all plumbed in was really efficient and hidden. So
Yeah, it was kind of cool. And actually, hopefully it holds in some sound right where it's going too, so that was
Absolutely.
of course, but yeah, so I don't know if you guys had any concerns with it.
Nope, looks good to me. I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Everyone, that's unanimous. Okay, that's been approved. Okay, now item number 9 is the deck. Actually, it's in front of 39 Marigold Lane.
yes, so I can follow up here. I actually followed up with their contractor. And he provided me with his calculations for square footage for the house, the driveway, their gravel walkways, the existing deck, and then in the addition to the new deck. And when I crunch those numbers, my calculation is that they still remain underneath the 50% open space rule.
Perfect.
My calculations, they come out with a 45.3%, so they're still well underneath.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, then move to approve.
Second.
Let me see, do I have any questions on their type of decking? He gave us that. I met the kid out there, talked to him. So that was all I had on it. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's approved unanimously. Okay, next item number 10, 25 Windward Drive. This is the deck they want to extend out toward Windward Drive.
Yes, and this was a very similar situation here. We wanted to verify their adherence to the open space policy. And again, verify whether or not they were going to move into that 20-foot setback from the front of the house to the road. I spoke directly with their contractor again, provided the calculations, and my calculations, they are at 42.7% of a open space policy. And their contractor assured me that they were not being ordered to do any work that would encroach upon that 20-foot setback.
That means, so they're saying 10 feet by 19 feet. So does that mean 10 feet off the house, 19 feet wide? Or are they going 19 feet out and 10 feet? And you know what I mean?
Great question. I actually don't have verification on which is the access there.
I thought they were going to go 10 feet towards the street from the current deck.
Just taking it out 10 more.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, that's my understanding. It's going out 10 feet toward Windward Drive.
So is 10 feet so what I don't understand, since there's not a drawing, is the existing deck 10 feet and they want to add 10 more feet out, making it 19 feet off the house, or
I don't
18
think
feet?
the existing one's 10 feet wide. Or
Because they're
10
usually either 8 feet or 10 feet is the standards usually
what-
that the most of the builders put in anyway. Just because of lumber sizing.
Yeah, they can only extend it, they can only extend outward. So to me, extending it would be out. They're extending the deck out 10 feet toward Windward. I didn't talk to the homeowner, so this is my understanding.
I talked to the lady and at first I thought it was kind of strange, but I was walking and she was out doing some yard work, and they want to go 10 feet far closer to Windward because the current deck is not very wide and somewhat useless. And she said she could go 7 feet if 10 feet was too much. And she said she was going to talk to the builder or contractor or whatever, and have him get the information that we needed. And you're saying that still fits within the coverage?
I just want to make sure that the total size of the deck. So that's why I'm asking the question, because when I read this, it looks like they want to extend the deck out 10 feet by 19 feet. And I'm asking, is that what the size of the finished deck will be? Is it going to be 190 square feet based on 10 by 19? Or is it going to be 10 feet in addition to the deck that's there? So that would make it significantly larger. If it's an 8 foot or even a 6 foot, that makes it a 16 by 19 foot deck.
Exactly. And that's fantastic question. And actually that needs to be answered before we can actually make a decision for sure. But my assumption, and this is why I'm having trouble with it, is it does extend into the setback. So again, you have a property marker, a 20-foot setback, which is where basically their deck is now. So their deck stops where it's supposed to stop at. And they want to extend it now 10 feet into the setback out onto Windward. So all the properties on Windward, because it's a main thoroughfare as you're driving through the gate, they're all 20-foot back. They're all off Windward. No decks come out to Windward like that. This would be like the first house that I know of. I don't want to say the first house because there might be others, but that is out there. So I got a problem with it extending out there. Right off the top. So I'm not a fan of it. And then you got a great question about the actual size. What's the finished size going to be on it? That is the thing. And then more importantly, the finishes. That's why I said last time, do we even want them to go with the calculation? Because would we approve this? Would we allow them to extend this deck out into Windward like this? So that's
I don't have a problem with a 10 by 19 foot deck, but if it's bigger than that, then now we're talking about a pretty significant deck size.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and it should have been flagged or something. They need to do something. So we know, because this is something, George, like on a side note, that as a committee, we don't want to struggle with going out and trying to guess what a homeowner is trying to do. It really needs to be more clear, decided by the homeowner. And then that way we're clear in our decision making, because right now we're all trying to get, hey, what is the actual size going to be? And
No, absolutely. And I did ask, and I'm not able to verify, but the contractor did claim they came out to stake it. I can't verify any of that because I was not able to make any contact with the owners, and I didn't. I'm not receiving any site plans or like photos of the site or anything like that to actually support what I'm being told has occurred on site. But
Yeah, and see, so
like I said, because as I read it, it just says remove previous decking and then extend deck an additional 10 feet. So I'm like, that means based on what I looked at, I would guess that it's gonna be 18 feet by 19 feet. And it's a beautiful deck, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how that fits into your coverage and how it fits for the setback. So I would say, and in addition to that, I would agree with Keith. We need to know what the material, what new decking they're going to put down. It says new gray decking, but so it says the rest of the house decks. So I don't know what those were. I don't recall the other decks.
I guess they're just going to match our existing, but this is a great reason why we need to go back and do tours like in a group, then you sit there and actually talk about it while we're looking at it, and and have open conversation right there, and hopefully get a homeowner involved. And
yeah,
but
I'm all for that.
yeah,
there's a bush that she said how far they wanted to extend the deck. And when I looked at that and the other deck and stuff, it didn't look that bad to me, but I would rather go out again with a tape measure and see how far it is into the setback and that sort of thing before we approve it. And we looked at, it has a property line stake, and it would be, far away from the property line. So, it's probably not as bad as we think it is, but I think it'd be better if we all went out and looked at it one more time, not necessarily together, but.
so I'm going to move to defer with all those comments.
Yeah,
I'll second.
I agree. And then also, so that's a response, right? So that'll get our 30-day clock started again.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's unanimous there. All in agreement to defer it with comments and additional information, pending additional information. Okay. And then the last item on here is, I think, George, you put those on here, did you?
Yeah, I was just, I'd like to hold sort of an executive session or a little think tank post recording ending. Just for some house cleaning topics and for us to sort of chew the fat about some things we'd like to see on the horizon and things we could all work on together.
Okay, so let me call this meeting. Do you in here, anybody have anything else on this agenda tonight, this meeting?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting adjourned at 6:56 PM.